We are continuing from where we left.
We had a moment with our director.
We are the moment with our director. Shout out to Arushi.
Yeah.
Follow Arushi Shaukin on
follow
Instagram.
her, please.
Arushi with 3 eyes. 3 eyes. Okay. So
3 eyes.
That's my Instagram username.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
It's
Arushi with
Arushi.
Okay.
3 eyes, then
Okay.
Shaukin.
Okay.
With 2 E's.
Okay. You can tell I have not subscribed yet, so I'm not following yet.
Okay, so that was that topic. From that heavier topic, let's move to a lighter topic.
Yes, let us.
Lighter. What is love? Can you define love? What is love for you?
What is love for me?
Yes.
Ooh. Wow. Tough questions. Wow. What is love? Love is that. Well, first, I think it's a feeling of unconditional acceptance
Mm-hmm.
by someone, and I think love can be so many things. It can be, I can love you as a human,
Right.
right? I can love my wife very differently than the way I love you. My wife is my person in
Right.
this world that I go through life with.
Right.
And so the love we have is absolutely just the most beautiful thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
we've built an entire life together. We're about to celebrate 23 years of marriage in November.
Congratulations.
No, thank you.
That to remember the date.
November 10th.
Yes, Mrs. Goldstein. Congratulations.
We've just built a beautiful family, two amazing kids, and an amazing life together. So that level of love is really difficult to put words in, Hindi or otherwise. But definitely it's also a feeling, right? You kind of feel it in your body. You feel it like
Exactly.
those butterflies or just that warmth that you can feel from your favorite person in the world, right?
Yeah, the other night when we were having dinner, me, Saurav and Mag, we were talking about this while you were having the heavy conversation about the market and all.
Oh,
So we were having this conversation, and Mag just asked how do you find that you love someone, that you love this guy or this guy love you, and I said you can't put a word on it, how do you feel it, but when that person is around you, and even if that person just touches you, you feel like
yeah.
like that feeling when you just in the gush, but that gush doesn't stay forever.
It doesn't. I mean, well, I definitely still look at my wife and I see that initial attraction, right? But yeah, it definitely it ebbs and flows, right?
Right.
There are definitely times where my wife does not like me, and I get it. I think what's interesting in India is you still have kind of two situations. You have the situation of arranged marriage,
Mhm.
and how do you define love
Mhm.
when your fate is kind of predetermined, right? And then you have your love marriages, which
Mhm.
is obviously a choice.
Yes.
So,
right.
I find that fascinating. And you look at the love that develops between arranged couples, and it seems like equally as deep. And so I find that really fascinating.
Even I have a small anecdote. I was a small kid. I was in, I guess, 4th standard. I was 10 or 11 year old. So my parents were fighting one night. A huge fight. They were shouting at each other and all. And my mom cried, of course. Women cried first. Men don't cry. I don't know why. But my mom cried. I was like, I just thought in my head that my father is such a bad person, bad human. I would talk to him again. From tomorrow, I'm the man of the house.
Oh,
I'll take care of everything. I was 11 year old. I went to
how'd that work out for you?
before going school. I'm telling you, before going school, I went to my mom in the morning. I told her, "You don't worry. Now I'm the man of the house. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of everything. Just leave this man, and I'll do everything." I went to school. In my head, I did all the calculations. Okay, what do you need to be the man of the house? You need money. I don't know how to earn money. I have to learn how to earn money. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll take care of everything. I came home fully prepared. Fully prepared. I came home, entered the house. My parents were sitting on chairs right next to each other, having a cup of tea, laughing together. Broke my heart.
But that's the thing, though, that I think kids learn, right? Is
Exactly.
arguing is still love,
Exactly.
right? If you care enough about a person to argue with them,
Mhm.
you're still loving them, right? Because if you didn't care, you would just walk away.
You will like do hell with yourself. You think whatever you think, but since you care about that person, you want to like make him understand your point also.
Yeah, I am with my kids. Like, it was important that they saw my wife and I arguing, but it was equally important that they saw my wife and I make up
Right.
and move on,
Right.
and continue on. And they I think they have seen that to me is a healthy upbringing.
Right. So, okay. Another question. It's for the young generation,
Okay.
or maybe the older one. I don't know. It's for the people who are looking for love, finding the right partner.
Uh-huh.
It's I don't know how do you find a right partner? What is the criteria? How do you find this person? Yeah, this works for me.
Well, it's obviously been 23 years since I've had to think about that.
And I hope you don't have to think about it.
No, they're like my wife and I are to the point where it's like the annual subscription renewal, right? Like the anniversary comes. Like, are you still in? Yeah. Are you still in? Yeah. Okay. How do you find love? I mean, I think part of it is knowing who you are, right, and what you need.
Right.
I think that's the hardest thing to know when you're at like a marrying age, when you're in your 20s. Like, what are you going to need when you're in your 40s? Like, you can't possibly, right?
You don't even know.
Right. So it's really about kind of knowing like what what's negotiable, what's not negotiable, right? Like for me, like I don't think I could be with a Republican. I think that'd be very difficult. So I think that has like, I look at like, what's your political mindset?
Right.
Like, what do you hold dear? I am a very observant Jew.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being with someone who, at a minimum, understands and respects my faith.
Right.
But for me, it was really important that I marry somebody else who was Jewish.
Okay.
So I think if religion is something that's a part of you and a part of who you are in this universe, then finding a partner who feels as passionately about that as you do is almost, I can't even state the importance of that, because there are going to be so many conversations you don't have to have.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I remember for me, like, I didn't want to debate whether the Christmas tree should be in the house or not.
Exactly.
I wanted to be with someone who like didn't even think in those terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that I knew that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew raising my children in their faith was going to be very important to me. So then having a partner was just absolutely tantamount, right? And then there's just other values, right? like how views on how you want to raise children. How many do you want to have children? Right, like those are like there's some fundamental questions you need to ask like in the dating phase that you don't want to find out later after the deal is sealed, where it's like, oh, like maybe I should have asked my wife if she's a cat person or a dog person.
I should have asked my wife.
Come to find out, she's a cat person and I'm a dog person, but we're just gonna let it go. The cats are gorgeous. I love them. They're but I'm still a dog person. But again, like if that was something that was going to bother me, right? Because some things just like get under your skin, and you can't stop thinking about it, so
I was having this conversation like with a smart person. Okay. So she told me, she does this for profession, therapist, basically my therapist. I was having a conversation with her. So she told me, Aditya, what we can do is we can categorize our needs or our personality in 3 different segments. One is your primary trait, like without which nobody can describe you. Like if I have to describe Jonathan, I would say he cares about his political views, he cares about dogs, whatever your primary traits, which you can't change. And if you are changing it for someone, you will feel tired about sometimes. Like you will feel like acting.
Yeah.
You won't feel like yourself. So you should always you should always discuss these primary traits with your potential partner. Like if they're compatible with these, then you can live with them. Like you won't feel tired. You won't feel like you are acting. Why you don't feel like you are under a burden. Then there comes your secondary and tertiary traits. Tertiary traits are things which you can change
Yes.
for a partner.
Agreed.
Like
I don't think you should ever go into a relationship with the attitude of I think I can change this about this person,
exactly.
because I think you'll be pretty upset.
Yeah.
So I would sort of challenge you on that. I have never had a lot of success fundamentally changing someone.
Not someone.
Right.
I was saying like my traits,
Yeah.
my tertiary traits, which I can change. I can change for them. Like I can change myself for them. For example, I don't care what clothes I wear. Like how do I look? I have zero dressing sense. Whatever I'm wearing today, someone else has decided.
I like your shirt.
Because someone else has decided.
Okay.
My dressing sense is like pathetic. Literally pathetic.
Okay.
Even my mom doesn't like it. It's that pathetic.
Okay.
So I don't care how do I like what clothes I do wear. So if my partner wants me to dress in a certain way, I won't mind that. Because in the end, for me, you are the person who is going to look at me the most.
Right.
You are the person whom I want to make happy. So if you want to make me see in a particular dress, that works for me.
Yeah.
But my primary trait is that, for example, I am admitting it on camera. I am an attention seeker. I love when someone gives me attention.
That's why we're in front of the camera.
Exactly. So I love when someone listens to me carefully. Like I remember when first time I was taking a first session of therapy, and my therapist told me, if you mind if I note down what you are saying, like I won't be looking at the camera, I will be noting down. I was like, are you going to note down what I'm saying? Are you going to pay that much attention to whatever I'm blabbering? You are not going to ignore me. That's my job. That's what you are paying me. I'm like, yes.
Shout out to Aditya's therapist.
She's a great.
I swear by mine. Therapy is a part of my life. One thing that did come to mind about love, though, is and kind of knowing who you are is there are some things about me that are kind of in that non-negotiable category, like the way I work, the fervor with which I pursue my career. I mean, heaven forbid I was with someone who held that against me or became resentful of the amount of hours I spend working. It just would not have worked out in a marriage sense.
Exactly.
That the other day you and I were talking about work-life balance. Like
Right.
Everyone laughs when I bring that topic up because there's clearly none. Right? Like I'm always working. Even when I'm like trying to balance, I'm working, right? And if I was with someone who really didn't like that, or wanted to be with someone who worked 9 to 5 and didn't work weekends, that relationship would not have worked for me. That would have caused so much tension, and I don't think I would have gotten as far in my career as I have if I had been with someone like that. So I do think that that's important because when we talk about love, like love is that attraction to someone from an aesthetic perspective. Often that's where it starts. Right? I look at someone like, is that someone who's attractive to me? Like, okay, next step, do I like them as a person? Right? That's kind of those two steps. And the second step can make the first step go away really fast, right? You can be with the most beautiful person aesthetically, but if they're not beautiful on the inside, if they're not someone who's going to support you and you feel like you can support them, then the relationship's just not going to work.
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually, love is a complicated topic, but this kind of summarized things around it.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay, so this is the last thing which we're going to discuss is